What's up, guys? It's your girl Nyla. If you didn't know, now you know, so let's get right into the
Hop in
video.
a rag, I'ma slide with me. You don't never spend no time with me. You don't never stick around. You don't never spend no time with me. You don't never stick around with me.
Okay, guys, so today I'm back with a brand new freaking video. So today I'm going to be doing my everyday slash work, get ready with me slash makeup routine. So this is my everyday makeup routine. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't wear makeup every day. Oh my god, yeah, no. But when I do, this is my everyday makeup routine. So let's get started. So I have my makeup kit right here. It's from Victoria's Secret. It's a little full right now. Also, this is not all of my makeup, but this is like the stuff that I use mostly every day, all the time, and my everyday products. So I have a makeup right here, and I have a mirror right here, and we're just gonna get started. So if you see me like looking down, that's because my mirror is to the side of me and not in front of me, so that you guys can see and the mirror is not in the way. So let's get started. So the first thing I like to do is skin prep, so I'm gonna go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I'm back, I have basically just washed my face, did a really short skincare routine just because my face was really dry and really needed it. And then I went ahead and applied some moisturizer, so now we can get started now that I'm looking nice and glowy and dewy for the day. So I'm just gonna start off by looking for the products that I'm gonna use. Usually I start by doing my eyebrows first. So I use the Morphe brow cream in the color Mocha. It just looks like this. It's a really small container, but you don't need a lot every time. And then I like to go in with this spoolie that's on the end of my Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil. I just like the way the spoolie shapes my brows. This is like the best one that I've had so far. I think it's just like the bristles on it is really good, so I just use that side and I just brush them up into the shape that I want them to be in. You can brush them however you want to. This is just how I do it, and kind of form it before I even go ahead and start to fill them in. So once I've brushed up my eyebrows, I'm gonna be using this eyebrow brush. It's like an angled brush. I don't really know where this is from. It was like a gift brush set, but pretty much any angled eyebrow brush will work. I like this one just because it's like a little bit more, like the bristles are a little harder, so it really gets the shape and the thin line that I want when I'm doing my eyebrows, but any brush will work. And I'm just gonna dip it into the product like that, so it's not a whole lot on there, and then I'm just gonna outline the bottom of my eyebrow. Following the shape that it naturally forms, just for that natural or more natural look. And then a tip that I usually do is to see how far I want my eyebrow to go. I kind of take my brush and I go from the edge of my nose to the edge of my eye and then to my eyebrow and kind of just draw a line. And that line right there is where my eyebrow is gonna stop. So I basically already have it there, but I'm just gonna kind of darken up that line because you want the tail of your eyebrow to be a little bit darker. So now that I have the bottom outline, I'm gonna go ahead and do the top. I'm gonna basically kind of be following the same line that I did on the bottom. So I'm basically gonna just draw a parallel to that line, and then once I get to the end, I'm gonna connect them together. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna go back. I'm not gonna start at the very front. I'm gonna kind of start back just a little bit from the bottom line, and I'm gonna draw a line parallel to the bottom until I get to my arch. Then what I like to do is kind of dip back in that pomade just because I want the tail to be a little bit darker. And I'm gonna go to the end and basically connect them by making a triangle, and then I'm gonna draw a curved line up to that line and connect the two like that. Then once you have that, I'm just going to fill in my eyebrow all the way up to this line up here. I don't want to go further yet. I'm gonna just stop right here, and then once I get to that line, I'm gonna take my brush and kind of just like make lines going like this upwards and then towards the tail. Okay, so now that I have both eyebrows, they are looking a little blocky right now, but I promise I'm gonna fix it. So I'm gonna go ahead and conceal my eyebrows, just kind of clean them up, kind of give it that like fresh out of the wax look. So I'm gonna be using Fenty Beauty's concealer in the color 385, and I'm just gonna like take a little bit from the applicator onto a concealer, like flat concealer brush, and I'm just gonna apply some to it, and then I'm gonna follow the outline of both the top and the bottom of my eyebrow. So this gives you like a really nice, clean and precise look. It cleans up any like imperfections that you may have had or any imperfections that you may have made when you were outlining your eyebrow. And I just like this technique because it really highlights the brow bone. And like I said, you're gonna go ahead and also line the top. I like to bring my concealer out just a little bit past my eyebrow, and I'll show you why in a second. So the reason that I pulled out my concealer a little bit past my eyebrows so that I can make sure that it's not so blocky. So I'm gonna take a nice blending brush. This is like a nice big fluffy one. It's also from Morphe. It does not have a number on it, but it was in a brush set. Just any big fluffy brush is gonna work. And I'm gonna kind of like drag the concealer down and into the front part of the brow just to kind of conceal it a little bit, but it's still there so that it's just faded and it fades into a nice brow. And then also while I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and just blend out this bottom and top concealer. Once you do that, I'm gonna kind of go back in with my eyebrow brush just to kind of bring back any color that I kind of did too much concealing on, and add a little bit color back to it just so that it's not extremely faded. You just don't want it to be like super blocky. You see the difference? So that's what I do. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the other eyebrow, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have both eyebrows done. Now for me, when I do my everyday makeup routine, I don't wear eyeshadow. So one tip that I like to do is just go ahead and take that same concealer that I applied on the top and bottom of my eyebrows, and I just apply it to my lids with the applicator, just like this, on both eyelids. And I take that same fluffy blending brush, blending brush, and I just blend that out, and it kind of gives you the illusion that you have on eyeshadow, because I'm also going to use like bronzer, and that'll also kind of give it a look that I have on eyeshadow. Now that I did that, basically, again, I'm keeping it really simple, keeping it really light, because this is every day. This is also me going to work. I'm actually getting ready right now to go to work, so I decided to film this video for you guys. So basically what I like to do now, because I'm not trying to do the absolute most, is take that same concealer And I'm not gonna do too much. I do have a little problem area right here with acne right now, mostly just from wearing the mask. So I'm gonna definitely try to get a little bit of these dark spots covered up by putting a few little lines. I'm gonna also do my forehead with about 3 little lines up here, and then I'm gonna do a line right down the middle of my nose, and then I'm gonna do this little like kind of lifting trick, and I'm going to put my concealer, like do like a little line right here and then a little line going up like that. I'm gonna do that on the other side. And then basically what I'm going to do is at the same time I'm gonna take my foundation. This is also Fenty Beauty in the color 385. If you guys don't know, Fenty Beauty makes their foundations and their concealers to match. So if you're a 385 like me in Fenty Beauty's foundation, you are also the 385 in Fenty's concealer. They're supposed to match, so they do, and they work really, really well for me. So hopefully they work really, really well for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Fenty Beauty 385, and I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit on my hand. Usually I just use like 1 pump. That's enough when I'm doing my everyday makeup routine. And I'm going to take my Morphe foundation brush, and the brush is M6, and I'm gonna just dab it into on my hand, because that's where my foundation is. And I'm gonna like kind of just get the product on my face. Now at the same time, you're gonna be kind of blending out the concealer on your nose and your chin and your forehead, and then I'm gonna do my concealer that I put on my under eyes at the end. I'm making sure to take that foundation all the way up to my hairline so that there's no color changes or anything. It's very seamless and everything like that. I'm gonna also make sure to blend out the concealer really, really well with the foundation. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get to my under eyes. So for my under eyes, I'm gonna still just blend it out, but I'm gonna kind of like spread out the product first before blending it out. So I'm kind of just dabbing to get that product spread out a little bit, and then you can kind of do like a dab rub motion, if that makes any sense, just to blend it out. Whatever you want to do, just make sure you get it blended out. Now if you can tell, I don't know if you can see, but I can see in my mirror that when I blended it out, there's a line that kind of formed because of the way I drew it. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just take it and blend it in with my eyelid, just so that there's no like line right there. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. So now that I'm done doing that, basically I'm gonna take like this really big fluffy, like I think it's like a powder brush, and what I'm gonna do with this is 2 things. Now because this is an everyday makeup look, I'm gonna be reusing brushes because nobody has time to look for all of their brushes. Yes, I do have about 3 brush sets, but that's not the point in this video because I don't want to go find them and pull them all out. So I'm gonna be reusing brushes a lot today on this makeup look. So this is gonna be one of the brushes that I reuse. So first I'm gonna take my Clinique powder. It's a translucent powder, and I have it in the color Transparency 3. I'm sorry guys, I definitely lied to you. I'm not gonna be using this brush for that. I'm gonna be using the same brush I did my concealer, blended my concealer with. I'm gonna tap it into this, and I'm gonna tap off the excess into the top. And then basically I'm just going to pat it underneath my eye, just so that it doesn't crease, so that it doesn't get oily or anything like that. And I'm gonna do it again, dip it into the powder, tap off the excess, and do the same thing to the other eye. Now that there's some excess in the top, I'm gonna just grab it from the top, tap off the excess, and do my chin, my nose, and my forehead. I'm also gonna go ahead and use the rest of the powder like on my eyelids, just so that it gives a matte look. And if you want to put it anywhere else where you know that you get oily, then feel free to do that. So I'm doing like a light bake, but not really, because obviously there's not like a whole lot of powder there, but I'm gonna kind of fix it in a second because I am looking a little pale right now, but it's fine. So I am gonna kind of be reusing that big fluffy brush that I mentioned at first. Basically, I'm gonna be going into the Fenty Beauty's bronzer. I'm using the color Thick Mint, and it's also like number 9 if that means anything to you. And I'm gonna be taking like this tip part, like it's angled, so I'm gonna be using the tip part to just dip it a little bit into this bronzer, and then I'm gonna kind of like do that or do that just so that I can get my bronzer in place. Now this is an everyday makeup look, so I'm not going super heavy, which is also why I am only using the tip of the brush. It might not look like it's doing much, but trust me, it is. It's bringing a little bit of color back into my face and everything like that. I'm also gonna use it and just kind of go over my nose. I'm not contouring, so I just want to bring some color back into my face from the powder and not the foundation. Once I've done that, I'm gonna just kind of take the whole brush and kind of really just blend it in together, just so that there's no like lines or anything like that, since I did only use the tip. At the same time, I'm also gonna be brushing off any excess powder that I have still left underneath my eyes, just so that it's not still sitting there and it looks really good. And it'll also kind of mix with the powder from the bronzer and give me the right color that I'm looking for. So now I'm gonna be using one of my all-time favorite drugstore mascaras. I'm gonna be using the Lash Sensational Sky High by Maybelline mascara. This is a everyday makeup look, so every day I do not wear eyelashes. I love my eyelashes, don't get me wrong, but today is not that day. So I'm not really gonna do too much and not too much to it. I'm just gonna apply the mascara to my eyes. This is one of my favorite drugstore mascaras because most of the time I cannot get my eyelashes to even remotely kind of show up with mascara. Like, I have very short eyelashes. They're there, but they're very short. And this is one of the only mascaras that even makes it look like I have eyelashes. Like, do you see that? Compared to this side, like, it's great. So I like to just kind of go over it a few times. This is very much so layerable. You can add layers upon layers upon layers if that is your thing. I just kind of keep layering until I get to my desired thickness and length. One thing I will say about this mascara though is that once it dries, it's really hard to apply more layers. Basically, while it's wet, I can apply layers and my eyelashes will still look really full. Once it's dry and you're trying to apply more layers, it kind of like starts to clump your eyelashes together and you have more like of a spiky look. So if that's like the look you're going for, before you keep applying layers, I would let the mascara dry in between and then add some more layers. But if that's not what you're going for, then just go ahead and work on one eye until you get your desired look, because it's still wet and you can still kind of maneuver your eyelashes to the places that you want them to go to. So now that I have that eye done, I'm gonna go ahead and put mascara on the other eye and then I'll come back. Now that I have basically the rest of my makeup on, I'm pretty much done except for lips. So these are my all-time favorite like colored lip glosses. They're the Butter Glosses from NYX. I have them in Spice, Toffee, Ginger Snap, and then not with me right now, but I do have Cinnamon Roll, and all three colors are wonderful and they're really hydrating. They're not even sticky. They feel great on your lips, so these are really, really great. So today I'm gonna kind of be mixing my Ginger Snap and Spike Toffee. They're really pretty much nude colors for me. Maybe not for everybody, but for me they are pretty much nude. Also, Cinnamon Roll is a good one for a little color but still nude. So if that's what you're looking for, that's a good color as well. But today, because I don't want to do a lip liner, I do want to still keep it really light, keep it simple, keep it everyday friendly. I'm going to go in with Ginger Snap just because it's a little darker, and I'm going to outline the outside of my lips. So I don't want to use a lip liner, I just want to get a little definition to my lips, so I'm going to use a darker color on the outside. Okay, I'm sorry, I had an alarm that went off and it cut off that clip. So basically I just went ahead and outlined the entire outline of my lips, and I'm gonna kind of just rub them together just so it's not so harsh. And then I'm gonna go in with Spike Toffee and just place that in the center. And again, just rub them together. And I have like this really pretty lipstick look without my lip liner. Now, I am a sucker for clear lip gloss, so even though I already have a lip gloss on and it looked really pretty, I'm gonna go ahead and just top it off with some clear lip gloss. This is the like lip gloss that you get from the beauty supply store. It's like $1. I'm just gonna put this on top. And again, just rubbing it in. And that is it. So that is it for this video. If you really like this video, click the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click that bell so that you get notified every time that I post a new video. Also, go ahead and leave me a comment if you guys want to see something else or see something different. Leave me your ideas and I'll go ahead and film those for you. Leave me a comment, leave fire emojis if you guys really like my new intro. It was just created by yours truly, so go ahead and leave those fire emojis in the comments. Let me know that 1, you made it to the end of this video, and 2, that you really like my intro. See you guys next time. Peace.
Hey, vibe with me, vibe with me. Hop in a rag, I'ma slide with me. You don't ever spend no time with me. You don't ever stick around.